Okay, I guess I'll take this time to talk about UI and add-on stuff for Warlock especially, but just in general for any player. I'll show you a list of my add-ons first of all. The first one I would recommend to use is Arena Team Tracker, or any add-on that tracks the dampening percentage. Basically what this does is it also tracks your team's cooldowns, but I don't use it for that. It puts a little dampening percentage number at the top near the remaining end time of the game, which just at first glance it's much easier to look at that than looking at your debuff and mousing over it. The second add-on I would recommend is Details. It's just a damage meter, which is very simple. You don't really have to configure it or anything, but what it does is it allows you to analyze differences in the game. So if you face like another lock, you can compare your damage, just look at healing done, interrupts, stuff like that. Buff up time as well, which is actually really important for some things. If you're playing without Details or Recount or SCADA or something like that, you are absolutely trolling. It's actually just so important for improving your own play. Third add-on I use is Diminish. What this does is it shows DRs on yourself. I'll test it so you can see when I get stunned, when the DR comes off. Why is this useful? Let's say you queue into a rogue, you see kidney shots coming off DR in 3 seconds, then you know it's time that you need to kite the rogue or CC the rogue before you get kidney shot again. Or you can, do something before that. Or if you're a healer, you can see when you're coming off poly DR, so that's extremely useful. Another add-on that I use is Gladius. You can use Gladius or S Arena, it doesn't really matter. They both have the same function. Personally, I prefer Gladius and my specific setup because I think it looks much cleaner. Tracks the spell for Claws. Obviously Claws gone now, but I mean, still useful. DR Tracker, Trinket Tracker, all the good stuff. And I think it just looks cleaner than S Arena, to be honest. JaxPartyCastbars. This is really important too. What it does is, I can't show right now, but I configured it so when your party member starts casting, you can actually see the cast bar, just like just like this. This will pop up next to the raid frame on them. LoseControl. What this does is it shows CC effects on your teammates. For example, if my healer's in a polymorph, it shows it in a bigger icon to the side of my raid frame. You can configure this, but why I like it is because if you don't have this, CC icons are just a little, little square on your raid frame, and it makes it harder to see compared to other people. Zico, thank you for the host, man. Appreciate that. So having LoseControl means, you're never gonna miss out on when someone CC'd. So I talked about LoseControl. The next one is OmniBar. OmniBar is very, very good. And what it does is it allows you to track enemy cooldowns. That means interrupts, Cloak of Shadows, Berserker Rage, AMS, and the most important part of it is tracking interrupts and knowing exactly when an enemy uses theirs and when it comes up, because it allows you to cast more. Obviously, if you're not a caster, you can still find use in it. So for defensive cooldowns like AMS, Blind, Fear, like CC abilities and stuff like that, OmniBar is basically a must if you're playing Arena seriously. Omni CC, this one's not really that important. What it does is it puts timers on your action bars, which Blizzard default UI already has, but more importantly, it puts timers on like buffs and debuffs and stuff like that. So you can know exactly when the exact second when something will expire or come off cooldown, and it also has a lot of integration with other add-ons for tracking times and stuff like that. So I definitely recommend using Omni CC. I don't think it's that necessary, but it's definitely helpful, and it's something that if you're serious about PvP or even PvE, you should be using. Okay, almost at the end. Omni CD. This add-on is very, very useful. Also, if you're not playing with consistent people every day and you're like LFGing a lot, I would recommend getting Omni CD. Reason is, if you're not in voice, you don't know when your teammate has cooldowns and when they use them sometimes. And so what it does is it tracks your teammates' cooldowns. So for example, I have a priest in my party, it tracks Trinket, Fear, PS, and I can add more abilities to it too. I can add anything to it. Like I said, if you're playing LFG, you're not in Discord with them, this add-on is a godsend. And even if you are in Discord, instead of asking your teammate, hey, do you have Counterspell, do you have Fear, you can just look over to your add-on, and yeah, that's why it's literally one of the best add-ons in the game. Also, it works on Shadowlands pre-patch. I love that. For Quartz, I'll go to Stormwind so I can show you. Quartz is a add-on that replaces your castbar, or like the target castbar, with one of their versions. And the reason why I take it is because in the default UI, your pet castbar doesn't show up. But with Quartz, you can get it to show up. So I can see when my imp is going to finish fireballing. Obviously, an imp's fireball is not that important, right? But basically, Seduction is a 1.3 second cast. And when you have this on like the enemy healer, for example, and you press it, you don't know exactly when it's going to finish casting. And with Quartz add-on, you can set the pet castbar to show. And obviously that's helpful because I can see exactly when the cast finishes for Seduction. Probably not the most important, and it's a bit try-hard, but you know, why not? It's a good idea to have. And lastly, WeakAuras is extremely important as well. WeakAuras is so versatile, you can do so many things with it. But for me personally, why I love it is because you can track your buffs and debuffs in a much easier fashion than looking up in the top right. An example of this is Dark Simulacrum from DKs. If this to show. If I get Dark Simmed by DK, I get this pop-up here that shows it on me with how long it has left. And that's much easier to see than having a look at my debuffs when I'm casting a Fear, for example, because I know they're gonna try and steal something, right? So little things like this increases your awareness, I guess, and can basically just carry you really hard. Other things I use it for is Dark Soul. So let me press Dark Soul. You see it pops up. I know exactly how long I have left on it. Or Reflect. If I get a spell stolen, I'll see the icon disappear and I can fake cast as a result. What else? Unending Resolve. I know that when this expires, my Aura Mastery immunity is gonna go, and I'll have to stop casting. Looking at it here is just so much more convenient than looking at the top right in your buffs and debuffs. So yeah, WeakAuras are actually insane. You can do a lot of things with them, but buff tracking is one of the most important. I track grounding, Spider Sting, I think it's called, from Hunters, Thought Steal now, and Dark Sim. And you can also track when someone on the other team begins drinking, which is a little bit overpowered, but yeah, you can make alerts for things like that. And yeah, that's all for add-ons. I think if you're an arena player, you should be using most of these add-ons, to be honest. Even if you're a pro or rank 1 player. Just if you're playing online, you need to get every advantage you can get, and these are really good.